heard it said once that life is like a book. Some chapters are sad, some chapters are happy, some are even exciting. But if you never turn the page, you'll never know what the next chapter holds. Hi, book friends. Welcome to Between the Bookends, where we discuss books that we have recently enjoyed. I'm Mindy from Bookends, here with Scott Richards, and we have some great book suggestions for you today.
We do. I have a comment to make.
Yeah.
I heard yesterday on a public radio book chat, and it annoyed the heck out of me because they criticize books they read. It's like, I don't think we need to do that. They say, I didn't like this book, and here's why. That's not why we're here.
Exactly. That's a good point. Yeah.
We're here to talk
celebrating.
We are, and there are books I don't like.
Completely.
But you won't hear about them.
Right.
Well, not here. I will tell people.
Yes, that's a good point, because I think when you criticize a book, you kind of close the door for some people, and that doesn't necessarily mean that that book isn't perfect for someone else.
Correct. Yeah. How do you know? I used to do a lot of movies, and when I was on the radio, I would talk about movies, but I never criticized a movie. But as a rule, I know everybody's got different tastes. That's like saying I don't like Italian food, so all Italian food is bad.
Yeah. Good point. Yeah, no, that's not what we're about. We're celebrating, because, we share a couple of books, but there are several books that we aren't sharing, too. So it's good for our listeners to know that the ones that we are sharing are... And we picked them on purpose.
I think you and I do agree on many books, not all.
No, of course not. But that's good.
We're going to talk about one that I know you won't like. Well, it's not your cup of tea.
Right, but that's exactly why that's why there's so many different books.
Amen. And I can't get to them all.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
All right. So this month was a great reading month. I think last month it was that I said I was kind of in a bit of a slump. Well, this month totally made up for it. I had some back-to-back just books that were just outstanding. So
isn't that exciting too? It's like, this one's good too.
I know. I'm on a roll. I read Wild Dark Shore by Charlotte McConaughey, and it was excellent. And this is one that I started and I stopped, and I was like, I don't think this is for me. And then a very persuasive customer was in and loved it so convincingly that I was like, all right, I got to give it another try. And boy, am I glad I did. And I think it's funny. There's been several books in my life that I've started and didn't think they were for me. And when I did go back to them, they were some of my favorites. I don't know
where your head was at that moment, or where your mind. Yeah.
So, but this one was unlike anything I've ever read. Wild Dark Shore. It is a research family. They're on a Arctic island, and they are doing research on the island. They're finishing up their, 7-year stint there or whatever. And a woman washes ashore. She's, kind of fallen off of a ship or something. And they help her recover. And she begins to, she just loves the wildness of the island. She's getting to know the family, and they're a little bit, broken because they've been isolated for so long. It's just, it sounds so odd, but it's just an amazing, beautiful story. I haven't read her before, so now I'm on a mission to read all of hers because it was beautifully written. But it has nature, the natural world in it.
Set in the contemporary?
It is nowadays, yes. But, you hear people talk about a book being atmospheric, and I'm like, But this was, now I get it. Like, this was, you felt like you were in there. She set the stage so well, and it was just really powerful. It is one that I still think about.
And again, it is the name and the author?
Wild Dark Shore, and it is by Charlotte McConaughey.
Wow.
Yeah. Loved it.
I read a book. It's not the same, but the feeling had the same impact to me. A beautifully written book that I took some time with because it was so well done. Eden's Clock by Norman Locke.
Ooh.
Norman Locke apparently has got a whole series, and this was the latest in the series. It was simply gorgeous. A little quirky. Frederick is a veteran of the Civil War, and in the Civil War he lost his ability to speak. So he cannot talk, but he is an expert clock repairman. And the basic of the book is he's going to San Francisco to fix the clock. And then there's the San Francisco earthquake. But it's a long story to get there. And it's many things about his wife who passed away, and the way people treat him, the adventures he has on the train. It is a book full of beautiful prose. And then, of course, the San Francisco earthquake.
Right.
And the clock. It's just gorgeous. And I will look for others and read others of him. Norman Locke, Eden's Clock.
That's great. Your beautiful book for the month.
Yes, that was the beautiful book for the month.
I had a thriller, of course.
Yes.
And it's called Not Quite Dead by Holly Jackson. Holly Jackson is famous for usually writing young adults. She did the Good Girl's Guide to Murder series, which was very popular. But this is her first adult novel, and it was exciting. It was like a race against the clock kind of thing. So Jet is the main character, and she's very spunky and bold and no nonsense. So I she's fun to root for. But she's attacked in the very beginning of the book, and after this vicious attack, her brain injuries. They said, you have 7 days, basically, because
to live?
of it. Yes, to live.
Oh.
And she's like, well, let me use this 7 days to find out who did this. And so it is a countdown of her going about town, interviewing this person, finding this, because she is set, like, I'm not going down without finding out who did
love
this
it.
to me. Yes. There's one item on her bucket list, and it is to find. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's just, you get the clues in there, and she's going to all the different people, but there are so many twists and turns, and she gets roadblocked here and there. So it was very, very binge-worthy because it's so fast-paced. So that was a very fun, action-packed crime.
What was the name of it again?
Not Quite Dead.
Not Quite Dead.
Because she wasn't quite
Not
dead.
quite
Yeah.
dead.
Yeah.
My historical fiction mystery, which I really like this, The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle.
I keep hearing about this one.
Oh, my goodness.
I knew it.
Stuart Turton, Turton. At times, it's a little confusing, and I eventually said, it's okay, it doesn't matter. I'll figure it out.
Yes, just go with it.
Will help explain it. Basic concept, his name is Aidan Bishop, and Aidan Bishop is at a remote English estate. And this is like in 1915, maybe, something like that. And he wakes up in the body of somebody else each day. And we don't know why until we do know why. And there is a murder of Evelyn Hardcastle that he has to prevent, or there's a malevolent spirit saying, if you want to stop your mystery, you have to figure out who murdered her, because we need to know.
So he can stop the transformation every day.
Sort of. It's a little quirky, but it's so well done. And each person that he inhabits has got their own unique, there's a doctor, there's a rich estate owner. It's just, and then there's always the action of, can he prevent that murder? Should he prevent the murder?
That's
the
excellent.
7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle.
I'm so glad to hear that, because I heard so many recommendations for that, but it's not always, I don't always have a copy of it nearby, so that one, I'll have to pull that one to the side.
Just terrific.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. Alrighty, I read a cozy fantasy, which that's a new genre for me. I didn't know that was...
I didn't know it existed.
Yeah, maybe, I think it's new. A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping by Sangu Mandana. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. Fantasy is such a big hot topic now, so I was like, I need to get myself more into that, and I thought this was an easy way to ease into it, and it absolutely was. But it was delightful. I loved it.
Wow,
loved it. It was just.
So this is like after that big heavy meal, you have a light dessert.
But there was a lot of umph to it too.
Okay, all right.
So Sarah Swan is a powerful witch, but she has she casts a spell that she wasn't supposed to, so she's lost her power. So basically, the whole novel is she is an innkeeper. She's taking care, and she's like, I want to get my powers back. So she's trying to kind of find out how to do that. But meanwhile, she's got this cast of characters in her inn that are so quirky and so different and so lovable and so bizarre. And that is what it is about. It's her taking care of this inn and all of these kind of crazy, the talking fox and the knight that won't take his armor off. Just such fun characters. And
the name of the book?
Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping. And it was just heartwarming. It's definitely cozy and funny, but there was a lot of heartfelt messages in there, too. So even if you don't think you're a fantasy person or don't think that sounds
this might be one.
Yeah, try it, because it was so much more than just that. I loved it.
I do like it. All right, my Sherlock Holmes. I read I've read all of hers, and I've read the last two. Bonnie McBird, who writes contemporary Sherlock Holmes.
Right.
This is a friend of mine was in a library and found this old locked suitcase, and it contained the other mysteries of Dr. Watson writing.
Right. Okay, the missing, yes.
The missing. The first one is her most recent. It's out now. Is Unquiet Spirits, and it's set mostly in Scotland, and there's whiskey, a severed head, and you learn a lot about Sherlock Holmes when he was a youth, a boy.
Okay.
There's a Scottish castle. There are maybe ghosts. It was really, really well done.
Oh, good.
Loved it. The other one was What Child Is This? Bonnie McBird, and it is a Christmas story.
Nice.
And there's a missing child and an adopted child, and it's Victorian. And this one, Sherlock Holmes does not like Christmas. And yet
he comes around.
There's a tenderness to this one that I closed that book. It was one of the
well, that's great for a whole Christmas read. That's always good.
And it's a shorter book, but it was, and also London, Victorian times, and people shopping and Christmas punch, and it was very charming.
Oh, that sounds very
charming.
December-y. Oh, that's great. I'm going to put that one down for sure. My last one to talk about today is my weird one. I always have a weird one. This one is Culpability by Bruce Holsinger. And it's a bit futuristic, but in a very cool way. So in it, there's a family heading to their son's lacrosse game or something, super normal. They are in their self-driving minivan, so we're, ahead of times a little bit. And it's involved in an accident. And the other car that's involved, it's fatal, the people in there. And so this raises the question of who is culpable. Is it the young driver that is, in the seat technically, even though the car is being driven by the self-driving? Or is it the dad that was in the passenger seat that wasn't paying a bit of attention because he's on his computer trying to get some stuff done? Or is it the creator of the AI system that made the self-driving cars? So there was a lot to think about. It's a family drama, obviously, because that kind of puts a little bit of a damper on your weekend.
A little bit?
Yeah.
Okay.
It has suspense because you're gradually finding out that each person in the car had a little bit more information than we thought originally. But it just raises a lot of kind of ethical concerns or social commentary questions. So it's just something that's good prime for discussion. It was different, very neat. If you're looking for one of those that kind of will make you wonder a little bit, and a good one to chit-chat with, which I love the chit-chatters. Culpability. Yeah, because who is culpable in that situation? Yeah.
All right, here's the one.
Oh, here we go.
Okay. I just finished The Bewitching, brand new book, Sylvia Moreno Garcia. This is, as you might imagine, a book about witches. These are not good witches.
Oh, this is not my cozy witches? Okay.
No cozy witches. It is truly a horror-filled book. 3 time periods. It starts in 1908 in Mexico with the grandmother, and her father has recently passed. She's a young woman at this point, and her uncle comes to visit, and some weird things are happening. Then we jump to 1998 and a college in Massachusetts, fictional college, but it could be any college in Massachusetts, and a young woman whose grandmother was the woman in Mexico.
Okay.
And then we go to 1934 because that's where there was a missing woman that was never found. And it's connected to a variety of people, and it all ties together. Ultimately, there are witches, and there are curses, and there are horrible things that happen, and there are people that don't survive, and it comes together wonderfully, and yet it's like, just it was I need to finish this book, The Bewitching. It's gotten some great reviews. It's brand new. And
it sounds like I could handle it, but I know that you said it's really bloody, so that's not. And if it's horror, then that's not for me. So
it is. It is horror, and there are. It builds. I will say it builds to the point where at some point it's like, this is not going to be good. And it's not what I would call a bloody book, but it's very dark and very horrific. But there are also a lot of things about the witches and how do I keep them out and how do I prevent it.
So these are not good witches.
Oh, they are not good witches.
Okay, no
and there are
Glinda.
some surprises.
Okay.
It's like, that's a witch? Oh, is that why I was having problems? But it goes back and forth between maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Really, really, really well done.
So,
Spooky.
but you can sleep at night. That's fine?
I can sleep at night.
Okay.
And I can, if you're sensitive, no. But if you love like the true witchcraft and that sort of thing,
That sounds like...
it's a straight up, wow, this is a great book.
Oh, that's excellent. Yeah. That's excellent. Well, that was a great group of book suggestions, and I hope you heard some reading recommendations in there that you might want to put on your list and enjoy
Always.
soon. Yes. Thank you for listening to Between the Bookends. Thank you, Scott, for getting us all online. And until next time, happy reading.